The Apple Watch Ultra 3 is shaping up to be Apple's boldest smartwatch upgrade in years. 4 months, leaks, insider reports, and beta code from iOS 26 have been pointing toward some truly massive improvements. This isn't just another small step forward. This is being described as the most important refresh in the Ultra line since its original debut. And the timing could not be more perfect, because Apple is set to reveal it during their September 9th event. Now, if you're wondering why the Apple Watch Ultra 3 is such a big deal, the answer is simple: performance, design, and health. Apple isn't holding back this year. The focus is on giving users a smartwatch that doesn't just sit on the wrist but becomes a powerful tool for fitness, health, and everyday life. Let's break it down. First, let's talk about the display. The Ultra 3 is expected to have a slightly larger screen size, measuring up to 422 by 514 pixels. That increase is made possible thanks to slimmer bezels. While the bezels themselves may look a little thicker from some angles, Apple has adjusted the frame so that the screen stretches out more fully, creating a more immersive viewing experience. For people who use their watch to read notifications, check maps, or monitor workouts, this larger display will be a noticeable upgrade. And here's where it gets even more exciting. Apple is reportedly adding support for HDR log color profiles. Now, if you're not familiar with HDR log, it's a video format that captures a much wider range of brightness and color compared to traditional formats. What this means is that images and videos will appear more lifelike, with deeper contrasts between shadows and highlights. On a device as small as a watch, that's a breakthrough. It allows you to see content more clearly in bright sunlight, while also providing richer detail in darker settings. But the screen is just one piece of the puzzle. Underneath, Apple is expected to power the Ultra 3 with either an S10 chip or an all-new S11 series chip. The interesting part here is that Apple isn't focusing on raw speed. Instead, the goal is efficiency. A thinner, more energy-efficient design is the priority. This shift could deliver longer battery life, smoother performance, and support for advanced health features without draining power too quickly. In fact, leaks suggest that this chip redesign may even work hand-in-hand with a larger charging coil and integrated antenna, which could allow the watch to charge faster and maintain stronger cellular connections. That's a direct response to one of the biggest complaints about the Ultra 2, which was its slower charging speed from 0 to 80%. Speaking of connectivity, the Ultra 3 might be the first Apple Watch to feature 5G support. Think about what that means for outdoor enthusiasts, travelers, or anyone who uses their watch on the go. Faster data speeds, stronger connections, and smoother streaming could all become a reality. Combine that with rumors of satellite navigation support, and you start to see how the Ultra 3 is evolving into more than just a smartwatch. It's a survival and adventure tool. Imagine being able to send a message or receive navigation instructions even when you're far from normal cellular coverage. That kind of feature could save lives. Now, let's turn to the health side, because this is where Apple has always tried to lead the industry. The Apple Watch Ultra 3 is rumored to include blood pressure monitoring. That's right, real-time tracking of one of the most important vital signs. While Apple has been cautious about rolling out new medical features in the past, adding blood pressure monitoring could be a game-changer. Millions of people worldwide deal with hypertension, and having constant access to this data on your wrist could help them take better control of their health. And it doesn't stop there. The Ultra 3 is also expected to feature advanced LiDAR sensors. LiDAR stands for light detection and ranging. It works by bouncing light pulses off of objects and measuring the time it takes for them to return. With this technology, the Ultra 3 will be able to create highly detailed depth maps. The resolution could jump from around 64 million points per pixel in the previous model to as high as 120 million points per pixel. That's nearly double the detail. Why does this matter? Because depth perception is critical for augmented reality, navigation, and even safety. Imagine your watch being able to detect obstacles in real time, guiding you through dark environments, or assisting with underwater navigation. The Ultra 3 could become a powerful extension of Apple's AR ecosystem, allowing users to interact with their environment using hand gestures or voice commands. That's the kind of futuristic tech we usually only imagine in science fiction, but Apple is bringing it to the wrist. Now, let's talk about durability and materials. While the Ultra series is already known for its rugged design, the Ultra 3 is expected to refine this even further. Apple may stick with lightweight aluminum for the frame, which balances strength and weight, but the back panel could switch to a Series 10 style metal finish. Combined with the larger charging coil and integrated antenna, this not only improves performance but also enhances durability. For people who push their devices to the limit, climbers, divers, or athletes, this makes a huge difference. Battery life is another area where users have been asking for improvements. While the larger display and new features could demand more power, the efficiency of the new chip, along with possible battery capacity increases, should balance things out. Some reports suggest that Apple may use a slightly smaller but smarter battery that works with improved haptic feedback systems. This would make the watch feel more responsive during use while still lasting longer on a single charge. And of course, no Apple Watch release is complete without talk of accessories and bundles. The Ultra 3 is expected to launch with a wide range of new bands, cases, and custom controllers. Apple has learned that personalization is key. People don't just want a smartwatch, they want something that feels like it was made for them. With the Ultra 3, you'll be able to style your watch in more ways than ever before, whether you want a rugged outdoor look, a sleek professional style, or something playful and casual. When you combine all of these upgrades, the larger screen, the HDR log display, the efficient new chip, the possibility of 5G and satellite navigation, the blood pressure monitoring, the LiDAR sensors, and the faster charging, you can see why this is being called the most important update to the Ultra series yet. Apple is not just catching up to competitors here. They're trying to leap ahead and redefine what a smartwatch can do. But here's the bigger picture: the Apple Watch Ultra 3 isn't just about hardware. It's also about software. With iOS 26 and watchOS 11, we'll likely see a host of new apps and features that are specifically designed to take advantage of this hardware. More advanced workout tracking, deeper integration with Apple Health, and possibly even new AR-based applications could all debut alongside the Ultra 3. This isn't just another smartwatch. It's becoming a true digital companion, one that can help you stay healthy, stay connected, and stay safe, no matter where you are. Apple is finally delivering the kind of major leap that fans have been waiting for. And with the September 9th event right around the corner, all eyes are on Apple to see if the Ultra 3 lives up to the hype. The Apple Watch Ultra 3 is not just another device. It's part of a much larger plan by Apple. The upgrades we've already covered, the bigger display, HDR log, 5G, blood pressure monitoring, and LiDAR sensors, all point to one thing: Apple wants the Ultra line to stand apart, not only from other Apple Watches, but also from every smartwatch on the market. Let's start with one of the most important questions people always ask: the price. Based on leaks and insider reports, the Apple Watch Ultra 3 is expected to sit in a similar price range as its predecessor, likely starting around $799 to $899. Apple has positioned the Ultra line as a premium product. It's meant for serious users who want more than just a casual smartwatch. And while the cost might seem high, Apple's strategy has always been to convince customers that the value outweighs the price tag. Think about it: when you combine health monitoring, 5G connectivity, satellite navigation, and advanced sensors into one device, you're essentially wearing a mini supercomputer on your wrist. For athletes, explorers, or even everyday professionals who rely on fast connectivity and reliable health data, the price begins to make sense. And Apple knows this. They're not trying to compete with budget smartwatches here. The Ultra 3 is designed to dominate the premium segment. But of course, Apple doesn't exist in a vacuum. There's competition. Samsung has its Galaxy Watch series, Garmin dominates the adventure and sports market, and brands like Fitbit still hold strong appeal in the fitness space. So how does the Ultra 3 stack up? Samsung's watches are sleek and full of features, but they often struggle with battery life and deep ecosystem integration. Garmin's devices excel in GPS accuracy and durability, but they lack the polished software and health ecosystem that Apple provides. Fitbit watches are affordable and solid for casual users, but they don't come close to the Ultra 3 in terms of advanced sensors or connectivity. Apple is betting on ecosystem power. The Ultra 3 doesn't just work well on its own. It works perfectly with your iPhone, your AirPods, your iPad, and even your Mac. That seamless connection is something no other company has matched. It's not just about the watch. It's about how the watch fits into your life. Now, let's talk about user experience, because this is where Apple tends to shine the most. With the Ultra 3, users are going to feel the improvements instantly. From the moment you strap it on, the larger screen and HDR display make everything clearer. Notifications pop with more detail, workout stats are easier to read, and even small tasks like setting timers or responding to texts feel smoother. Charging is another area where the experience changes dramatically. With the integrated antenna and larger charging coil, reports suggest that the Ultra 3 could charge much faster than the Ultra 2. This means less time tethered to a charger and more time on the move. For people who rely on their watch for long outdoor activities, hikers, campers, divers, this is a real upgrade. The health features also make a difference in daily life. Imagine getting a warning from your watch that your blood pressure is spiking before you even feel unwell. Or being able to monitor subtle changes in your vitals over time and share the data directly with your doctor. These are not just convenience features. They are life-enhancing, and in some cases, potentially life-saving. And let's not forget about safety. With LiDAR and satellite connectivity, the Ultra 3 can provide navigation assistance in places where phones and traditional GPS might fail. For people who travel off the grid, this adds a layer of security that no previous Apple Watch has offered. Apple is clearly positioning the Ultra as the go-to device for adventure and exploration. But beyond the here and now, we also have to ask, where is Apple going with all of this? What's the long-term roadmap for the Ultra line? If we look at the history of the Apple Watch, it started out as more of a fashion accessory. Over time, it evolved into a fitness tracker, then into a health monitor, and now into a powerful connected device. The Ultra 3 is the next step. Apple wants the watch to become an essential health companion and a safety device that you can rely on no matter where you are. The addition of blood pressure monitoring is just the beginning. In the future, we may see features like blood glucose tracking, hydration monitoring, or even early warning systems for conditions like sleep apnea or atrial fibrillation. Apple's strategy is clear: the watch is becoming a medical-grade device on your wrist, disguised as a stylish accessory. On the connectivity side, the Ultra 3 hints at a world where the watch may eventually become independent from the iPhone. With 5G, satellite support, and advanced chips, the Apple Watch is already capable of handling many tasks without needing to be paired to a phone. The future could bring a fully standalone Apple Watch, one that replaces the phone for many people. This leads to an even bigger question: could the Apple Watch one day replace the iPhone itself? While that might sound extreme, the trajectory suggests that Apple is moving toward smaller, more personal, always connected devices. The Ultra line is the testing ground for this vision. It's where Apple experiments with features that could later spread to the regular Apple Watch series, and eventually, to other products. Now, let's circle back to the market positioning. Apple knows that not everyone will buy the Ultra 3. It's a niche product aimed at professionals, athletes, explorers, and tech enthusiasts who want the very best. But Apple also knows that the Ultra sets the tone for the rest of the lineup. By showing what's possible with the Ultra 3, Apple makes every other Apple Watch look more appealing too. Even if you don't buy the Ultra, you'll feel the pull toward the Series 10 or SE models, because you've seen the innovation at the top. This is a classic Apple strategy. The high-end device pushes the boundaries, while the mid-range models benefit from the halo effect. It's the same playbook we've seen with the iPhone Pro and MacBook Pro. And with the Ultra 3, Apple is executing that playbook perfectly. But let's not ignore one more important detail: customization. The Ultra 3 is rumored to come with a wide range of accessories, from new bands and cases to external controllers and filters. Apple understands that people want their devices to reflect their personality. The ability to mix and match accessories turns the watch from just a gadget into something personal and unique. And with the Ultra 3, Apple is giving users more ways than ever to make the watch their own. So, what does all of this add up to? The Apple Watch Ultra 3 is not just an upgrade. It's a statement. It tells us where Apple sees the future of wearable technology. It tells us that the line between health device, communication tool, and adventure companion is disappearing. And it shows that Apple is willing to take risks to make that future happen. When we step back and look at the bigger picture, the Ultra 3 represents Apple's belief in a world where technology fades into the background, and what remains is pure utility. A device that helps you live healthier, stay safer, and stay connected, without demanding constant attention. That's the real vision behind the Apple Watch Ultra 3. As the September 9th event approaches, the excitement is real. Fans are eager, competitors are watching closely, and Apple is preparing to set the stage for another leap forward. Whether you're a hardcore adventurer, a health-conscious professional, or just someone curious about the future of technology, the Ultra 3 is a product worth watching. Because this is more than a watch. This is Apple's vision of the future, strapped right to your wrist.